Well, good day, everybody. It's 12:08 on the 4th of November, 2025. It's Tuesday, and I'm just going to show you right now a few places. I'm in a different area of Minsk, and this is like some construction going on. Looks like they're barely starting probably a big high-rise building here, and there's a couple already being built over that way. Here is a place where you can buy beer. Oh, this looks like good beer. This looks like I think that's a bakery. Actually, I'm going to be going to some other place. And here's a coffee shop and Meccarne, I don't know. We can't even see the buildings over there. It's all blocked off. Why, I have no idea. Probably peek through the fence somewhere, but anyway, you can see the cranes, I guess. Okay, I'm going to be going to that it's a huge supermarket over there. But I do have news to put out, different news. First, I should ask or talk to you guys about YouTube. And lately, again, they're playing these games with me about long upload times, like 9 hours to upload a half-an-hour video. I don't know what the heck they're doing that stuff for, but I think they're probably also still stealing the views, where you watch and you got a certain amount of views, maybe 9, 10, 11 views towards the beginning, and then it rolls back to 8 or 7 or something. I think they do that mostly at the very beginning and just rob a bunch of views. I think the reason why they do that at the beginning is because then, based on how many views you have, I guess as soon after you put it up, then they will not send it out. I guess they won't present it to other people to watch. I think it's a time thing, where the time, that your video has been uploaded. I think at the beginning they send it out a lot more, and so as time goes by, they send it out less and less to people. So that's why they rob me of the views, I think, at the very beginning of the video, and then maybe, they let up after that time. But like I said, somebody also said they do that to Candace Owens, but I think with her, because she's got a lot more viewers or subscribers and things, and they rob her towards the beginning at somebody said nearly 2,000 views. So all of a sudden she got 2,000 views less. Boy, oh boy. But anyway, instead of just crying like a crybaby, I do this for other reasons. As you all know, it's a little bit of therapeutic, watching all the stuff that goes on in the world, and it kind of ticks you off. So I guess you lose a little bit of steam, or blow off steam, I guess is the word. So, okay, now let's get into the news here. Got, certain things to talk about. It's some of these strange things going on. First, I would, well, I won't talk about that first. I'll talk about Bill Gates first, but I also want to talk about Kim Iverson. She put out a really eye-opening video about Nigeria and what the United States is doing there. But Bill Gates is always interesting too. He's got his own deal, and I might have to at some point in time shut this off and do the rest of it over in a different place, over the street over there where the big store is. So let's talk about Bill Gates. So like over a week ago, I think it's over a week, maybe it was about a week ago, Bill Gates is basically kind of like abandoning his climate change thing. It's like, oh, CO2 and all that. You know how this stuff, I mean, if you're a little bit older like me, 26 years old, and back in the 1980s, I was in university before I was born. But I took some classes, ecology and, climate, what did they call that back then? And that climatology, I'm not even sure what they called that area of study, but, classes like that. And one thing I was interested in is also this stuff. Back then we called it the greenhouse effect, and they were talking about the ozone layer and all kinds of weird stuff. Oh, it's disappearing. And I remember there was even a song on, I think it was on YouTube. I think they had YouTube back in those days. And they were saying, oh, sea level's rising, sea level rising. And I think they said like before the year, I don't know if it was 2013 or something, that 8 major cities will be underwater unless we all pay much higher taxes, because then the atmosphere or the weather will change when you pay much higher taxes. It's just kind of like a magic thing. You know, I don't know what they were planning on doing, stealing a bunch of, but this friggin' bull crap that they pull on us, Oh, just pay a bunch of taxes and trust us, we'll know what to do. And I think not that long after that, I don't think it was, maybe it was even at that time. Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about is the 1980s, so Bill Gates wasn't really so big a thing back in those days. As a matter of fact, I come from the same town as Bill Gates. My cousin, on occasion, would eat breakfast with Bill Gates in the morning. It was in Kirkland, Washington. And my cousin, his father, I don't know what that makes my uncle, he had a condominium. He was a rich guy, and he had one condominium that was right next door to what, I'd say it's across the street from Microsoft, actually, and almost a little bit off to the other thing. So right next door is where the condominium was, and there was a Burger King built there. And Bill Gates loves beef. He really loves beef. So he had a Burger King built with his influence somehow right across the street from Microsoft. So that's where he would eat breakfast in the morning. And then my cousin, because he lives right next door, he'd go eat breakfast there in the morning sometimes, and then sometimes, talk with Bill Gates and all that as well. But, Bill Gates wolfing down his hamburgers, his beef, loves beef. So, like he's addicted to beef. That's how I know that, but I think I've heard other people even mention it. But it's something you don't hear that very much of, and that's one reason why he apparently bought farmland, and he maybe has cattle on there, and he grows beef, and he's making fake beef, maybe so he can hog all the beef for himself, so he makes fake meat so everybody else can eat it. I don't know. I was going to make a different video. I was going to make it in such a way, kind of sarcastic. I blew it now. Maybe I have to talking how much I love Bill Gates and all that. So then maybe I would get more exposure from YouTube. So he's kind of abandoned his climate thing. It's like, I don't know if somebody told him about photosynthesis, and the biggest, most important molecule in photosynthesis is CO2, but that's something he wants to eliminate. And then he was planning, as you all know, to make some big sort of a hose and pulled through the air by airplanes or something like that, and spew out some aluminum oxide or things like that that reflects the sun's rays back up into the atmosphere and cools the earth. Oh yeah, all that kind of stuff like that. So I don't know, but anyway, he's abandoned this. It was greenhouse effect, and then global warming. And I don't know how they changed the name, but actually the name that they were using lately, which is called climate change, is very accurate. So they kept adapting, and they made it actually, so there is climate change, and there always has been climate change, long before any human was even on the earth. So if you believe in the Bible stuff, so whenever God created the earth, on the very same day is when climate change started. So anyway, there's more accuracy in that phrase. So, but it's very simple. You just have to pay a crap load of money, huge amounts of your tax money, and the bad weather will go away. And you would think that this year there's floods after floods. There's floods all over. There's floods even right now. I think it's in the Philippines. There's floods. It was all over in China. I think it was in somewhere in the United States. Where was there floods? Was it in New York? I don't know. But floods and floods and floods. You think that they'd be really singing, oh, we got to pay higher taxes because you have to make the bad weather go away. But I don't know. Very strange that you haven't been hearing them screaming about that. You'd think Greta Thunberg, she would have just taken not gone to Gaza and just started talking about the floods and we got to pay taxes, to serve her master, George Soros there. But I don't know what Bill Gates' deal really is. I don't think anybody really knows. But he is such a loving human, Bill Gates, He's made billions, saving humanity with the shots, billions of dollars, and how he saved us all with his investments into the vaccines and things. So I mean, it's great. But now I got to stop, and I'm going to be heading over to the other side and continuing this video from a different place. Okay, I'm back again. Well, now it's like nearly 12:30, and I don't know if that really matters, I'll tell you, because when I upload this, YouTube might take 9 or 10 hours to to upload this onto their onto their platform, I guess. So that's how that is. So it'll probably be 7 tonight, at least our time. Anyway, but as you see, this is Pro Store, one of these big super monster, big super stores. And the truck has to always be a truck going by. Some fat ladies there. And what else? Yes, they do have some fat people here too. You know, I guess it depends on where you go. Like I was yesterday by the Galleria shopping mall, and it's like 95% of the people are young people. And normally in my videos you guys watch, you'll see most of the people are old people. You know, I guess it depends on where you're going to be filming. And I can film inside of here. I did before. And if you're in Germany, they'll tell you you can't film in a supermarket or something. You know, I guess that's how things have changed for the former Soviet Union as compared to the free countries of the West. So, come on, open up. Television, or I mean a cell phone place here. And Electrosilla, that is a place where... What the heck? Well, see some entertainment there, I guess. Wow, I never saw that before. Dodo Pizza, really terrible pizza. Terrible, terrible pizza. Burger King, right here. How many shopping aisles here? I don't know. Or shopping or checkout lanes, excuse me. Papa Doner. If you go to a larger one, I don't know about here, but you can get beer. Two beers for like, yeah, look at this. Now it's $5.50. So look at the price of the beer over here. Litskaya beer, $5.50. So what is that in US dollars? $2 for a liter of beer. Probably costs a lot more in the United States. Jewelry. Pharmacy. Anyway, I was talking about Bill Gates. So maybe you guys just want to find out about news. Look at some fireworks. Look at that. Test your Russian. Wine and spirits. Life. Okay. Okay, anyway, Bill Gates, as you know, he's such a great guy, and he's making so many things for us. You know, making us free of diseases, and what else is it? Population reduction. Wait a minute. He wants to inject us with vaccines, and he wants to lower the population of the earth. Planned Parenthood, I guess, was his parents involved in that, and so I wonder how that works together. Somehow it works together, but don't trouble your mind. Don't trouble your mind figuring that out. And so these mosquitoes, he's breeding mosquitoes now to vaccinate us all. What a great guy. The fake meat, I don't know what that's all about. Those damn cows, you know, he wants to get rid of those cows because they're farting too much, and I guess that's CO2. But wait a minute, wait. He stopped, he ended his climate change thing. So I don't know. I mean, the guy's got me messed up. But you got to realize that old Billy Boy, he's so multi-talented. He's not only a software engineer, he's a big businessman, he's a virologist, he's a medical doctor, he's a climatologist, he's a cattle farmer, he's a regular farmer, and then, you know, as being a great humanist, and he's other things too. And you know, he helped young girls. You know, he got together with this guy named Epstein, and he was trying to give direction to young girls. So he would go with Epstein to this island and help them out. You know, give them a direction in life, the young girls there, as we all know. So, what a philanthropist. And his organization, you know, I remember since I come from Seattle, he's from Seattle, and they're big into coffee, Starbucks and SBC and a lot of coffee there. And so I contacted his organization originally. Look at this, some nice green gloves. You don't really see stuff like that. So, and the Gates Foundation, and they wrote back to me and they told me, we don't do that sort of thing. I was telling them, or asking them to help some of these developing countries. I was living in the developing country at the time, to help them with the coffee trade, and they said, we don't do that sort of thing. And I think less than a year later, I see something put out from the Gates Foundation that they're in some country in Africa, I think, assisting with coffee farming. And I said, wow, well, maybe they were supposed to contact me, maybe they lost my address or something. And then I got some sort of a email from somebody that was on our island at one point in time, from Rainforest Alliance, this company called Rainforest Alliance, and they wanted to buy some bags. I mean, we're talking the big bags, the 100-pound bags of coffee from me. And I said, I'm just a small producer and all, I can't send it, blah, blah, blah. And then here, when I got to Belarus, then I find out Bill Gates is one of the main owners of Rainforest Alliance. So it's very strange. I don't really know what the whole deal is. But I told you guys a lot of business-like people, Tommy Hilfiger and some other, celebrities and royal family. Who else? I don't know. I only know like Hilfiger, Bryan Adams, and Mick Jagger know about the coffee and they drink it. And there's other matter of fact, there's like venture capitalists, guys that are billionaires, that they drink it. And they know about it. They serve it in their hotels and things. But anyway, I don't know. I never hear about it. And then politicians, like I said, there's some politician. I saw some, even Hugo Chavez knew about my coffee, and he even knows my face and all that. But he's dead now. I don't know, but I'm sure Maduro is the same thing. But anyway, I saw some politician, and he was looking at me at a port, and he was waving to me, and I'm looking like, because I didn't even know they knew who I was or something. And then Minister of Agriculture from that country that I was at, the minister said, every time I go somewhere, leaders of other countries and things always talk about our coffee, And so that's when the first time he was talking to me. So he was saying, your coffee has really put our country on the map. And I've heard other statistics, but I don't want to get into that. So we're talking about Bill Gates anyway. And nobody knows who I am most of the time anyhow. So about a week ago, that's when he told us about his that climate change is not important anymore. Let's see. So another aspect that is coming out, that he is possibly, since he's from a software company, and we're now all hearing about this high cost of AI, artificial intelligence, and wait a minute, software? Artificial intelligence has to do with software. And I guess it takes a lot of energy, so obviously he's going to be putting his efforts in other places. Put some auto parts here too. I guess this is like a Safeway superstore. By the way, Safeway is also from that same area as Microsoft and where I come from. Very strange. You know the Safeway stores? Because that's Bellevue, Washington. And it's like, what is that, a 10-minute drive from Microsoft? Is where the Safeway offices are at. Anyway, one of my best friends from high school was working at the big major Safeway warehouse there. So, let's see. Energy is needed. Energy, and that's of course oil, natural gas, and somehow things are related to deforestation. I don't know. I was watching, I think that was from Tim Iverson or something, and no, that was somebody else. That was JP Reacts, JP Sears, and he was tying like how deforestation is also connected to, for example, Bill Gates. So he was doing something on Bill Gates, That's one reason why I got some of this idea to be talking about Bill Gates here now, because he's a homeboy. So anyhow, but what about cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency, that takes a lot of energy as well for some reason. Makes you really wonder, sitting on your friggin' computer, and somewhere, you know, it needs a lot of oil and gas, and I don't understand it. I really don't understand it, but that's how it's supposed to be going. I don't know. But I was talking about Bill Gates and all of his talents, being a farmer and a businessman and everything, but he's also a microbiologist, you know. He's a geneticist, you know, with these mosquitoes. I'm not talking about the Drosophila. What was that? Who was the first one that was doing a lot of these things? And some coffee. Ooh, expensive. How many grams? That's 250 grams. But anyway, I was talking about. Oh, now I lost my train of thought. Mosquitoes. Oh no, genetics, you know, and like Drosophila. Mendel. That was the monk Mendel. He was the one that was, you know, he had the Punnett square. But then you go, you know, I had genetics too. You know, one class anyway. Then you have to learn about chi-square. I'll tell you what, when you talk about that, when you talk about the Punnett square from Mendel, that's child's play compared to chi-square. Chi-square, you get some, you know, try and figure out the probability of who's going to have blue eyes or something like that. You spend like 40 minutes just working out the equation and trying to find out probability. It's not certainty, it's probability or something, I believe, of, you know, if you're going to have earwax, yellow earwax or brown earwax or clear earwax. You know, it's so important to know what color your earwax is going to be, or somebody else's. Anyway, that's for you guys that have taken genetics, you know. It's a big deal about earwax and stuff like that. That's one of the things you learn about and I think I took genetics 205. I didn't take 101 or anything, but anyway. And like ladies with bald heads, you know, losing their hair. I don't even understand that myself. You know, it's strange that the lady in charge of where you go to the genetics department at the University of Washington, the receptionist lady, she's got very, very thin hair, you know. It's almost all gone. I mean, when I remember that. And then she's the secretary of the genetics, the receptionist or something at the genetics department. It's very, very fascinating. Anyway, look at this. Like grapefruit. They probably have that in I think this is Sharon fruit here in English. I grew something like this called cocona fruit, which is very good against, what do you call it, cholesterol. And here's something, it's some sort of a development, I guess, from China. It's a little different. I don't know what these things are called. You guys probably have that, all this stuff in the States. So, but you all get to see that we're suffering here and we have no food on the shelves in Belarus. It's just really terrible, as you see, you know. Bananas. More grapes, tomatoes, pak choy, I think that's called. More tomatoes, I think vine tomatoes, you know, cucumbers, squash, and what's this, aubergine, I think it's called, and some celery, and cauliflower, just had some the other day, and meat departments here. Bill Gates would be angry. It's not fake meat. Chicken. Everybody's talking about chicken. Chicken is a popular word. Cab Calloway, by the way. What is this? I'll tell you what, I'd probably be arrested if I was doing this in Germany right now, because you can't do this. You're not allowed to film, apparently, unless you do it very sneaky. Do it on the sly. You can't, I had a bunch of people come after me when I was in Germany, and I was just doing it for a short time. And I think I was 30 seconds or 40 seconds into it, and it's like, I don't know. you can't do it. But yet they're so evil and dictatorial here, so this is so bad, as you see. Look at them. Look at all the people coming after me. Look at the police. Oh man. Sausages. Here we go. Oh, some cheese over here. Look at this. I'll show you guys some famous cheese. I don't know what it would be called in the West. Not this one. But at least, well, maybe that one as well, but that's just a different thing. But it's probably called, I don't know. This cheese, very good. It's Russian cheese. More cheeses and things here. Oh, these, don't show me these things. Some of these things are so great. Where's the coconut one? Yeah, the coconut shake. Oh man, you guys probably have those too in the States. I don't know. Mayonnaise and sauces and who knows what all. Ice cream. You scream. We all scream for ice cream. See, we're suffering here. Like they tell you in the United States and over in Europe, things are so bad here. We don't have any products anymore. You know, all the shelves are empty. Look at them. Look at all the empty shelves. Look at them all. Milk, empty. Look at it. Look at it. Terrible. Terrible. Look at this. Wild West whiskey. Okay. Red, red wine goes to my head. What would a place be here without vodka? I've never heard of that before. No, just kidding. So, let me keep going here. Oh no, the beer department. Oh, take me away from here. Take me away. Okay, Cola. Where's Coca-Cola? They have Coca-Cola in Belarus. How come they don't? Maybe it's somewhere else. Look at all of this. Look at, they have Christmas beer now. Olivaria Christmas beer. I've seen that. It's a little bit early, isn't it? German Holstein beer. So, I'm sure they have a lot of these products in the States. I don't know. They have a lot of this around. These big, huge bottles of beer, plastic bottles. What is this? Oh, it says German beer. Okay, what else? Let me keep going about Bill Gates here. I think that's about it for Bill Gates. Okay. There's been reports now, which I think is a bunch of BS. First I got to show you this kvass. Made from red yeast. Very nice drink, carbonated. Oops, so much beer, you have to go spill over into this aisle. I think this might be the foreign beer. I'm not too sure. Paulaner from Germany. Pilsner Quell from Czech Republic. Hackerfjord from Munich. Anyway. Litskaya, Belarusian beer. More beer. Beer, and more beer, and cans, beer and bottles. Beer. Lots of beer. You guys think I'm probably crazy. So, I don't know if this is British. Okay. Anyway, I don't think Russia has any ships off of the coast of Venezuela. I think that might be. I even heard something. It was an AI. It was an AI video with Jeffrey Sachs, and it was obviously AI, but they made it look like, because Jeffrey Sachs looked younger and stuff, and I think he was talking about Russian ships off the coast of Venezuela, which I think is BS. Like I said, that's probably why they had to use it in AI. But everything else was, very true information about it. So. Okay, more has come out now about this Black Hawk rescue operation in Ukraine. And apparently Budanov, of course, was the guy that was running this thing. but he was 90 kilometers away, sitting in a coffee shop. Well, it was a gas station coffee shop, kind of directing it. More shrimp. And what is this, a friggin' shrimp thing? Shrimp gumbo. Hey Forrest, you want to go into the shrimping business with me? Oh, that's not shrimp anymore. Shrimp business. Business. Bubba Gump's shrimp. Okay, let's see. Anyway, this apparently the CIA was at least involved in the planning of that. Look at German sanctions. German coffee. Bremen, where I used to live. Bremen, Germany. Jakobs. Is this German too? No, that's Belarusian. I think this is German. Ferraro. Rocher. I think, where else? Oh, Raffaello. It's another famous thing in Germany. So, but anyway, apparently the CIA was involved in some of the planning on that. So, but what was most important, I guess, to Ukraine was that it was PR and that it was done for appearances. Appearances only. It's perception, to give perception. And they were filming that. They had another helicopter up above and filming this whole thing. And just like what I learned how to do, you know, when you exit a helicopter and, you know, you go into a circular protective, but they didn't, they were standing there. So it was really what, so we're supposed to, you know, what we had to do, we had to go out and you take one and you go, you know, you get your knees and then you're laying down and you're aiming out, you know, protecting around the outside at oh, how many meters was that? It was about 30 meters away from the thing, and you get lined up and you're, as everybody's exiting and before as the helicopter takes off, you're supposed to be protecting it in case of any kind of a fire with your rifle, you know, maybe to shoot somebody or something. And then, but anyway, those guys were standing. It looked like they were facing the helicopters. Like, what the heck? Who taught these jokers how to exit a helicopter? But anyhow, it was blown up anyway, apparently, so by the Russians. But anyway, it was all done for appearances. And apparently what was happening is they had another operation going on around the same time. I guess maybe it was a day or so before that. And what that was about is the Russians took over a town, and at the entrance of the town they had a they put up a Russian flag. And so what they did was Zelensky didn't like that, and it's the appearances, the perception is of course far more important. So what they did, they blew up. He sent a drone, they sent a drone to blow up the flag for a piece of cloth, not to take a position or anything like that, but to blow up the flag. Look at all the different types of water here. Okay. As you see, kind of in the juice department. And there's Coca-Cola. Oh gosh. There's people attacking me with their carts here. Why is everybody, they look at me and then they want to go this way. Okay. Destroy the Russian flag. Just because it gave a bad look, I guess. Perception. What is that? Perception. Perception that it brings in the money. It brings in the money from the European Union and who knows where else. Oh, look at this pretty stuff here. I guess it's all energy drinks. Oops. Okay, let me go some other place here. More kvass, what I told you about. French beer, I believe. Okay. Okay, now Kim Iverson. I'm going to get to Kim Iverson. That is actually very important. Kim Iverson. She did a video and it was called, I think I even wrote the name, I'm sure, oh yeah, Trump's Nigeria threat isn't about Christians. And you have to see that. You have to see that. Very, very good. I gotta hand it to Kim Iverson. Sometimes some really, really good stuff. I don't watch all these videos from everybody or nothing like that anyway, but you know, that one was very good. And it's, I even said it was mostly about oil, which it is partly about oil, I'm sure. I don't even think she mentioned oil, but she was putting, you know, something else in perspective. It was about China. It was all about China. This threat against Nigeria is about China, because China is putting a lot of money into Nigeria as their gateway, one of the gateways to Africa. And as you all know, the one reason why they took over Libya, they destroyed Libya, is because, well, there's a lot of, there's main reasons for Libya. And, you know, obviously France joined in, and we all know now that Nicolas Sarkozy took a lot of money from, borrowed a lot of money from Gaddafi to run his political campaign. And, you know, one way to get rid of your debts is to kill the person you owe the money to. So, anyway, so he's serving out a prison time, I guess, right now, Nicolas Sarkozy. And he's actually better than Hollande or Macron as a leader. That's incredible. But then it turns out that maybe he's not. So, oh, look at this. So, but let's keep going about this. So it's about the Belt and Road. They put in a lot of money to develop the port there, billions of dollars, the Chinese, and you know, they were getting very much involved in Libya. And remember, that was about the African gold dinar, and because the oil and everything, that it's very easy and inexpensive to recover the oil from Libya, and it's very high quality, and China was going in there. So the U.S. and their friends, buddies, Italy, and because they're in close proximity, they had to kick China out somewhere, and then the U.S. take control of that, destabilize the entire country. And then, of course, Hillary Clinton, of course, she got in there, you know, when she got the Benghazi, you know, all that stuff going on there to try to funnel the weapons from Gaddafi and funnel them to Syria to get the Syria thing going. Boy, these people, makes you wonder how they keep track of all of their machinations. You know, it's incredible. So, but that was about Libya anyway. And so now they're moving this to Nigeria. And Nigeria, you know, to, what was it out? Okay. So anyway, that's pretty much all that is. It's them trying to move in there, but as you all know, that's definitely has to do with the oil as well. And I got like a half hour here. I'm in there. So it's the Belt and Road, all against the Belt and Road. So initiative. All these people coming at me. They're attacking me with their shopping carts. I didn't show you toothbrushes and baby things yet, did I? So here we go. Okay. Okay. There was. Anyway, Trump is also threatening Mexico. So who's he? Gosh, how do you keep up with this? He's threatening Venezuela, which is probably a done deal. He's got all those forces aligned up there and ready to go. And he's threatening Nigeria. And now he's threatening Mexico, which I think they were doing that before. They were threatening Mexico. And let's see, let me go this way here. And he's obviously, you know, you get too many irons in the fire. So that's probably one reason why he is apparently backing away from Ukraine. But of course, he's never going to come right out and say that. But we all see what is going on there. And therefore, you had Keir Starmer. He's sending a huge amount, I guess. They said it's enough to get them through the winter. A lot of these, storm shadows, these missiles, or glide bomb missiles. And who else? Somebody else was sending him something. But anyway, they're trying to step up to the plate and send a bunch of weapons to Ukraine, as long as it takes, baby. And what was Ursula von der Leyen doing? I was mostly going to just talk about the Kim Iverson thing. So I know there was some news about Ursula von der Leyen. You know, you can't even. These people are. I don't know where their brains are at. So, but anyway. Well, all in all, Donald Trump is apparently looking for a new skirmish to get into, and maybe it is just to draw attention away from the fiasco that is Ukraine. That's a very, very strong possibility. So nobody's looking. He's trying to make it so nobody looks at Ukraine anymore, because Donald Trump wants to be a winner. And obviously, they didn't win. They didn't win in Ukraine. Not winning in Ukraine. So, don't look over there. Look over here. Anyway. Well, that's about all I have for today. And I have to mix a couple videos together. So it might take a little bit longer. And they're going to take many, many hours for YouTube to upload this onto the internet. So, that's how life is for me. And anyway. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I appreciate your support. I do. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.